The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood Redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Black Hollywood Live, Phenomenal Women, featuring in-depth interviews with today's most inspiring women. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood Redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, Phenomenal Women.
Now you're right.
Yeah. You couldn't have anything less.
You know, I love her. Yeah. I miss her. And I love this song because it's perfectly
It's so
fit.
uplifting.
It is. Absolutely. Well, hello, everyone. I'm sorry. I'm just having a conversation with my guest here. Thank you. Welcome to Phenomenal Woman at Black Hollywood Live. I'm your host, Ashida Onrae. And with me today, I have a phenomenal woman, Keta Meggett. Woo! Hey, Keta.
Hey.
She's an actress. Thank you for that. An activist and an MMA fighter.
Yes.
And I can't wait to get into the story of how she became a fighter because she has an amazing, uplifting story of what she went through being bullied, which she's an activist for, and how she became a fighter because of that.
Yes.
So welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
It's such a pleasure and I'm honored. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit of your backstory on how, because you were bullied, how you transitioned into becoming a MMA fighter.
It's kind of a long story, but long story short.
Okay.
I got bullied and had to change schools. And then I was on accelerated programs just to get out of school because I had PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. So I couldn't be around people, students. It just freaked me out. And so I had to choose a bunch of electives just to like get it over with. Mm-hmm. And one of them was acting. So I went in, the teacher gave me a monologue to go home and practice. When I went in the next day, I felt nothing better than the applaud and like the cheer and just the love that the class gave and the teacher gave. And apparently I was really good at it. So at that point, I decided this is what I wanted to do because the feeling that I felt was just super invigorating. That led to me years later auditioning for a TV show called Wow Superheroes that'll be on TV next season. And it's a wrestling show. Well, I had no wrestling background, but they trained us to do all that. And they absolutely loved my story. And so my character is Keta Rush, the Bully Buster. And I was talking to a director later on who was like, you really need to do something with your story. You have something magnificent and you've got a great personality and you're still like super youthful and you could go in and talk to people about it and help people. So I went home and brainstormed and I was like, what a great idea. So I came up with the nonprofit Team Bully Buster. And at that point, wrestling had opened so many other doors for me. And so I got auditions for Gatorade to be a fighter, and I had to like wrap my hands, and I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. So I had to take privates, but during the privates, I absolutely fell in love with it because it was hard for me. It was hard to have someone punching you and whatever, but I knew that I really needed that, and I knew that I needed it to overcome everything that had happened to me. And so then I just took a liking to it and trained and trained and trained. And I started at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu with Eddie Bravo. Then I went to the Yard for Muay Thai. And then I just kept training and it just became a complete passion of mine. So besides my passion project of the organization, I also just truly enjoy fighting and being able to defend myself.
Exactly, because, you know, we've all been bullied in school. And I know I've been bullied in school a lot. So I feel like
I have too. Sorry. I was pointing at me like, yes, I have been too.
Oh, you've been. Oh, okay. I was like, well, who's talking to me? Somebody's talking to me.
No matter who you talk to, they've either know someone who's been bullied, or something.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, some people, unfortunately, we hear so many tragic stories of people ending their lives because of being bullied. And I love your story so much because you took it and made it into a positive.
Correct.
You know, and so many of us don't know how to do that. And so I love that. And I'm not sure if you know, but Maria Menounos, you know, who created Black Hollywood Live, loves wrestling. And she's a wrestler also. So just a little note for you. Yes, absolutely. So shout out to Maria Menounos, who loves wrestling. And but now with jujitsu,
Yes.
is that more like with your upper body? Is that more with your legs? How does that work?
It's more ground.
Okay.
And as a woman, I think it's the most important martial art to learn, because when someone attacks us or whatever, I mean, the goal, unfortunately, is probably to rape us or do something.
Yes.
And we get taken down to the ground. So it's ground fighting. It's how to defend yourself from the ground. And it's just so important. And me learning that, literally, I mean, when I walk down the street, it's not that I feel like I can beat up everyone.
Somebody's ass, right?
It's not about that, but I do know that I can get away, which is the most important. Like, if someone's going to accost me or attack me, I'm not going to fight you back. I want to get away from you.
Right.
So that, for me, was just perfect. And 10th Planet, like, seriously zeroes in on just how to defend yourself and get out of it and, you know, potentially submit somebody without having to, like, our strength against a man, it doesn't really measure.
Right.
But a submission, being able to, like, choke you or manipulate a limb to get you to back out,
right,
is completely feasible.
I love that word, submission.
And I love submitting people.
Right, especially a man. That must be so exciting.
No, it's cool. It's funny, too, because a lot of guys, you know, not a lot of guys, let me not say that, but there are men who take the opportunity, like, oh, this is a girl, I'm going to go super hard or whatever, but I am really strong. I have an amazing strength coach, and so he made my core super strong, so I can submit guys, and they're always tripped out, and then the next time they go super hard, and it's kind of funny.
That is hilarious. That's hilarious. So let's go back to, you know, back in school when you were bullied, so that the other, you know, some of our viewers and our listeners can know the steps that you took to rebuild your self-confidence afterwards, so that they have an idea on what to do when they're bullied and how to continue to go to school.
Right.
You know, what advice could you give them?
For my situation, unfortunately, I'm mixed. I'm half black and I'm half Latin. So I was singled out because I had nice hair and I was light-skinned.
Beautiful, too.
Thank you. Thank you. No, it took a long time to like myself because I was so damned for being something that I didn't even know that I was. Mm-hmm. And I was such a tomboy. I played ball. I wore Jordans and big T-shirts. And I like wasn't the girl who was a cheerleader who thought she was all that or any, like I wasn't that girl.
Right.
I literally was like a straight little boy. I wanted to be my older brother. So when that happened to me, it definitely it made me insecure about how I looked. Like, then I started putting my hair in a ponytail because I'm like, oh, I don't want to be judged. And, you know, like, I made sure I wasn't cute, and I wore even bigger clothes.
Right.
And so once that happened, I went to therapy just to learn that this type of stuff goes on and it happens to everyone. Because initially it was like, why me, why me, why me? And I lost a lot of faith, and it just made me feel just insecure in the world. Like, what are we all doing here if this is what's happening to us? And so then once I was able to grasp that this just happens and it's just life, and a lot worse happens, and a lot worse could have happened to me. I ended up with a broken shoulder blade, a broken jaw, broken ribs. My internal organs were like completely bruised, and I still have issues like digesting. I have to take enzymes when I eat. Yeah, like it's a big deal. I had a huge concussion, so I'm left.
So you
now
got jumped
by the same 8 girls who bullied me from day one. Then ended up, jumping me, attacking me, whatever you want to call it.
Oh.
Yeah, it was terrible. So with all that, once I went to the new school, I had so many issues. Like, I just hated being at school.
Yeah.
And acting for me really helped bring me out of that shell and gave me just a sense of security and love. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's important for children, students, whomever, to find something that they really do like. And that's, with the organization, we really focus on that. Because once you can hone in on what you're good at, nothing else really matters, because then you know your purpose.
Right.
And that, for me, were the first steps into changing everything. And then once I started getting over the physicality of like people being near me with wrestling, that completely like just took it out, and jiu-jitsu just knocked it out of the ballpark. Now I have like nothing.
So would you recommend parents putting their kids into martial arts?
Like, literally, when I have children, they're coming out of the womb and going to jiu-jitsu. I think it's literally the most valuable I feel all martial arts instill a form of confidence, 100%, but it's not often that you're going to square up and be like, or even, you know, people these days are going to pull hair, try to hit you from the back, grab you, and I feel like that's just important for me, in my opinion. Jiu-jitsu is the most important martial art to know.
Well, you know, when you carry a certain confidence about you, because when I was bullied, I didn't have confidence in myself.
Yeah, same
and
here.
it was ninth grade, and it was my first year
Yeah.
in high school.
Same
so
here.
I didn't have confidence. I didn't know what was going on, and I just wanted everybody to like me. And so the girls that do have confidence but you know, they use it against you in a certain way, they pick on you and they bully you.
Right.
And so until I became self-confident, until I was aware of my strength, then they leave you alone.
Right.
And I think martial arts teaches you that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I excelled as an athlete, but I only focused on gymnastics, track, and basketball, which are not contact sports.
Right.
And my father's a Marine. My brother is a brown belt in Kung Fu.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, how did you guys not want me to ever? My dad's like, you were my little baby. I didn't think you needed to know that. And I'm like, from now on, like, especially at this day and age, the way cyberbullying happens and the way now, I mean, getting beat up is, like, cool because they post it on YouTube. Or it's, like, terrible. It kills me. It's so important for someone to know how to defend themselves, even to just get away.
Yes.
And not even have to be in the situation, for me, I think is just the most valuable tool.
Absolutely. And to instill that confidence, because even though you're bullied and you come home, you still have to go back to school the next day.
That was dreadful for me. Yeah, like at the moment of the day that it happened, I literally closed my locker and I saw them all coming in the hall, and it was like during lunch. And I thought I was being smart, like, ooh, let me just go in my locker, get my stuff for my next class while no one else is in here. Bad move. And they all followed me in, ready to go, T-shirts, buns in their hair, sweatpants on. And I was like, okay, I have two choices right now. Like, I was all city and track. I was like, I can run, and they're not going to catch me, but I have to come back to school again, and they're going to do this again and again. And I was just so over it. Or I could just stand here. And I chose to just stand here. And that's what happened to me. But it was like, I was so tired of the fear.
Yeah.
My grades dropped tremendously. My parents were like, what is going on? And I didn't know how to, like, say what was going on. I didn't want to get in trouble. And my mom had so much going on. It was just a lot at that time in my life. Like, my parents were going through a divorce. So I didn't feel like I had anybody to tell that was actually going to do something. Mm-hmm. And I made that choice to just stand there and get it over with because I was so over the fear.
Right.
Yeah.
And then once you got it, when you came back,
didn't come back.
You just went straight to.
Yeah, I never came back to that school.
So with your nonprofit that you started, which is Team Bully Buster.
Yes.
What do you teach the kids on how to come back to school?
So the organization has several different elements. One of the elements is that we visit schools, tour the country, put on this really cool show where we, number one, talk about bullying, talk about how I came up with the concept. Then we also talk about how to diffuse a situation. Before it even gets to the fact of bullying, there are so many ways to diffuse it and befriend the bully, because unfortunately everyone looks at bullies are bad bullying, but those kids have problems too. Like, something's going on deeper than we're aware of. They're not just bad kids. So the difference between our organization and like others is that we're not just shedding awareness. We're giving you the tools to help end bullying where it begins, with the bullies, and then how to diffuse it as the opposer, and then how to befriend that person or at least neutralize it. And then also we teach self-defense and show the importance of being fit and physical, so that you can, you know, run away if you have to, or just have that form once
And does part of it also teach how to deal with the parents?
Yes.
Okay.
So a big thing for me was, especially in the once I started studying bullying and like what's happening, and like there's an amazing documentary called Bully, and I watched it, and the teachers had no clue on what to do. Like, I remember watching it, and one of the students told the teacher, you know, Billy's bullying me. And so she grabbed Bully and she's like, say sorry to Tommy. And he goes, sorry, Tommy. And then that was it. She goes, good boys, and walk away. And then literally he walked away and kicked him. Like, that didn't do anything. It's not about just saying sorry. It's like, what's the problem? We need to, why are you doing this? What's happening at your house? What's happening with your siblings? Are you getting bullied? So now you're taking it out on someone else.
Right.
Like, so yes, we delve into the problem instead of just like, bullying's bad, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, it's bad, but we can fix it. It's not cancer where we don't have a cure for it.
Right.
We do. It starts at home, and it starts with the teachers, and it starts with the faculty. The adults have to instill why it's bad and the effect that it's having on people. And it's not cool. Like, don't pull out your phone and record it. Walk in and say something. Like, our tagline is do something.
Right.
If you see it happening, say something. If you're too scared to say something, go get somebody. But don't watch.
Right.
Don't watch. Like, that's not helping anybody. And this day and age, kids are dying. Like, if they get hit, they might hit their head. That ends up killing them. They don't wake up the next morning, or they're taking their own lives. Like,
yes.
It's so serious, and it's just devastating and sad, and no one's doing anything about it.
And I think now it's become, because see, when I was in high school, everybody was pretty much involved. You know, if you went to the teachers, they would get involved. If you talked to the parents, at least when I was going through it, my mom was involved, and then, you know, their moms got involved.
Right.
But now, because of the way children are, they have fear.
They
have
because
they got
parents aren't
around anymore. You know, so then there becomes all those other issues as well. And it's just become so big of an issue. It's like, how do we solve that? But like you said, we have to start with the core, which is at-home life. Right. And then why at-home life is being transitioned to the school and all those other elements as well. So I commend you, and I think that is amazing what you're doing. So when you say that you travel with to schools, what area are you in? So the viewers
I'm in Los Angeles, but we'll go nationwide. It's a cool hour-long program. Depending if that's what the school wants or the event wants. And it's really cool. I mean, I have a really great troupe, and we put on a really great show, and the kids love it, and it's interactive. They're not just watching. It's not just like we're up there and doing, like, it's interactive. We have them come up. There was one time we even went to a school, and a child felt so comfortable. He goes, and I just wanted to say that Steve is bullying me, and I'm tired of it, so I want you to stop. And I was like, oh, okay, let's go intervene. And I was like, Steve, why are you doing this? And he's like, well, because my brother beats me up, and it makes me mad, so I take it. And I was like, this is perfect. Like, we're talking about it. So then the teachers and the principal were all able to see, like, this stuff happens, and you don't just say, stop it, you're in detention. Like, that's not doing anything.
Right.
It's like, yeah.
Right.
You get it.
So where can they find you to, you know, like if there's students and teachers and, you know, our listeners, where can they find you to say, hey, I would like to have this program at my school?
Teambullybuster.org.
Teambullybuster.org.
Yes.
Please check out the website. A wealth of information, and you will come down to the school, do a presentation and a show just to show exactly what bullying is like and how to solve the problem.
Correct. Like, we do a couple skits, and then we also do like a fit challenge. We have prizes. It's really cool.
I love it. I love it. Congratulations on that. That's
you.
Amazing. So let's transition into something more positive. And let's talk about your career as an actress. And you're also a spokesmodel for Gatorade and Reebok. And let's go into that a little bit.
Initially, I graduated with marketing degree. And so I had a marketing company. And that's when I was doing that, the spokesmodeling and stuff. And that was awesome. Right now, Nike is one of my main sponsors, which is a complete blessing.
I love that.
And they just support me in everything that I do, and I'm just blessed to be able to represent. So
when you say everything that you do, does that mean they support you as
acting, fighter? Yeah.
Okay.
All of the above.
So they're the sponsors for your fighting, the sponsors for you traveling to the different schools, and as well as how do they sponsor with the acting?
They have an entertainment division, so you know they just want you to look good and make sure you represent the company well, and I do that.
And you do that so well.
Yeah.
And also too, you're a vegetarian.
Yes.
So let's talk about health-wise, how that's important. Okay. Because you know I eat chicken and fish and seafood and all these great things, but I'm starting to hear how vegetarian, because I like protein.
Right.
I need protein.
Same here.
So how are you able to get protein as a vegetarian?
Well, it started with when I was in high school, I was a super track competitor, and one track meet, my dad wasn't able to be around. I think he was out of town. And usually he always prepared my meals like chicken, potatoes, pasta to load up with protein and carbs. Well, that track meet, he wasn't there. So I just grabbed a bagel and like orange juice from Noah's Bagels and I ran. But I beat my own time and won. And I was like, that was really weird. I didn't even eat everything that I normally eat. Like I usually load up, and that was just strange. So when he came back in town, he's like, what do you want? Chicken breast, steak, whatever. And I was like, no, I'm just going to grab. And he was like, what? My dad's a huge Marine, and so that made no sense to him. Huge meat eater. My family, everyone eats meat. And the same thing happened that next time. So at that point, I just decided I'm not going to eat meat anymore. It just made me feel sluggish. I don't know why, but not until literally like 7 years ago did I come across Dr. Lamb's Eating Right for Your Blood Type. So I found out what my blood type was, and it's A, and I'm supposed to be a vegetarian, which made sense because I just listened to my body. And so it was validated, and then I just read more into it, and there's certain things we're supposed to stay away from because our digestive systems or the enzymes that A people have aren't the same as B or O. So for me, finding out that was just super important, and at that point, I knew which proteins to focus on. So I eat a lot of beans. I eat a lot of tofu. I eat vegetable. Spinach has a lot of protein. There's so many ways other than just animal meat, especially this day and age with steroids and hormones that are in all of the meat. I just stay away from all that.
So based on your blood type.
Correct.
By Dr. What was his name?
Lamb.
By Dr. Lamb. Based on your blood type, it'll tell you what you should and should not eat.
Correct. And I put my mom on the same thing. I found out what my mom's is. She's O, and she's supposed to stay away from chicken. Well, she ate chicken for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know, like chicken sausage or chicken breast in your salad, and you would think that's healthy. But O people don't digest chicken well. And so I gave her the list of things she should eat versus she shouldn't, and it's really cool. The chart tells you why, like your enzymes don't do this, or it tells you exactly why it's not good for you. Put her on it. She lost 60 pounds. And my mom struggled with weight loss for years. Yeah. And she didn't even have to like try to, go work out or anything. Like, no, literally it's just by eating. And it's not like you have to stay away. It's not a diet. It's just for you. This is what you should eat.
Okay, so based on that, where is Dr. Lamb?
I know, right? You can just Google it. I think it's called like Dr. Lamb Eating for Your Blood Type or something like that.
Okay.
And it tells you why A's are the way they are, B's and O's, and then gives you a chart of what you should eat, why you should eat it, what you should not eat, and why you should not eat it. It is the most coolest thing ever, and like I stick to that. It's easy.
And it's so simple.
There's a couple things where I'm like, dang, I'm not supposed to eat tomatoes. So I know if I eat salsa, like I just have to drink a lot of water to help flush it out. Other than that, I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah.
And so the issues with your stomach and everything just kind of disappeared.
Yep.
Just based on your blood type, it tells you what to eat. I love that. With the simplicity of it, even though it's like, oh, wow, it's a little extreme. Yeah. But when you break it down in the simplicity of it, it's marvelous.
We're not all the same. We're not.
Yes.
I mean, you walk around and you're like, if I put someone on the same diet, why aren't they having the same results? Or, you know what I mean? Because we're not equal inside. Like,
absolutely.
There's 3 differences between us.
Because I'm learning now at my age that I can't have milk.
Because you're lactose intolerant.
Yes. But I used to be able to have 3 bowls of cereal back in the day because you also
you're little.
Yes, and I changed, and I'm sitting like, wait, I can't have milk, I can't have cheese. What's going on? And it could just be my blood type.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
Right?
Yes.
I'm just so.
You're like, I can't wait to.
I can't wait to go to Dr. Lamb. Yeah, I'm really like, okay, as soon as this interview's over, I'm gonna go with Dr. Lamb. Let's see what this is all about.
It's really, really cool.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, you're welcome.
So what fighting events? Let's go. Take a turn. Go back to your fighting because I'm interested in MMA fighting.
Right.
Are you fighting in the cage? Do you do all that? I'm just so intrigued.
So I started with 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu with Eddie Bravo. I train at the headquarters, and that is ground fighting. So it's submissions. It's everything if you're on the ground. It's wrestling. And I started competing with that, and I was doing very well, and I loved it. And one of the other students was like, hey, you would really like Muay Thai. And I was like, what's that? I thought it was like food or something. And he's like, it's Thai fighting. It's kickboxing. And I was like, oh, I've done Thai Bo. Like, I can do that. I'll go. So I went, and it was not Taebo at all.
Really?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. They were like, what kind of punch is that? And what are you doing? I was like, oh, that's not right. No, not so much. And so they started showing me like the actual technique, and I absolutely loved it. And it was hard, and I'm super athletic, and I've been athletic my whole life, so it's hard for somebody to kick my butt.
Yeah.
I got my butt whooped.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I left that training and was like, yo, that was amazing, and I can't wait to go back. So I started at the Yard Muay Thai, and then I just fell in love with it, and then I started strength training with James the Beast Wilson, and that changed my life. It made me just super strong and feel good, and he helped with my technique, like perfecting it, and then I just started taking matches. And
so you can just sign up for matches? Just
no, I mean, you have to, it just depends.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's a, like for jiu-jitsu, there'll be competitions. You can sign up, pay, you have to weigh in, you've got to do all that, and they got to find you an opponent.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's something that I love.
It sounds so terrifying.
I know. I never liked...
This person is going to kick me in about 2 minutes.
But I love it.
I know.
Because it just makes you so uncomfortable. And at this point, I feel like we all just need to know how to defend ourselves. And then I just took it to another level because I like it now.
Right.
Which was something so strange. I never did a contact sport. I did track, gymnastics, basketball. That's like you by yourself, you know?
Right.
And this is just one-on-one.
So do you have any upcoming fights scheduled?
I don't have anything scheduled right now just because I'm super busy with Team Bully Buster.
With Team Bully, okay.
Yeah.
And just, you know, I want to talk about really quick our engineer, you know, who's into fighting, and she just had, right, Alexis?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about this later after the show.
But I just want
you're on blast now.
I'll put you on blast now because I, you know, want to talk to you really quick. She's into fighting as well.
Nice.
And she just had a tournament. And which one do you do?
I also do Muay Thai, Tang-Soo-Do, and Eskrima.
Okay. Where'd you compete?
I'm only doing amateur fights between dojos in the valley.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
When's your next one? Let's go check you out.
It's not gonna be for a while.
Okay. Well, you can come train with me.
I would love that.
Okay.
Oh,
cool.
see, I love that. I love the little plug-in because our engineer, she's so awesome.
Yeah.
And she's
thanks, guys.
You're welcome. So what, I know you have something coming up with Team Bully. Before we let you go, I would like to talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
And tell us about it.
Okay, so just to give you the other elements of Team Bully Buster. So one of them is that we speak to students. The other element is that, and the reason I created it is because, like I said, I didn't feel like I had anyone to tell what was going on at school. I didn't want to tell a teacher because then rumors get started, and then I didn't want to tell my parents. My mom was in a major car accident. My parents were going through a divorce. I just felt very alone at that point, and it's adolescence, your first year in high school. So with the website, kids can write in from wherever and tell us what's going on and what school they go to, and we will contact the school. So that they don't have to feel that pressure of like, I just wanted to say, you know, and let them know how serious it is. So we do what we can by helping. And then the other element is I interview celebrities, public figures, everyday people, athletes about them getting bullied and how they overcame it. For instance, like the NFL player recently who was getting bullied by another NFL player.
Absolutely.
And it was like nationwide. And like Mariah Carey got bullied for being light-skinned and not black enough. Same thing. So I feel like it's very important for kids to see that it's available to overcome.
Absolutely.
You have to just tap into what it is that you want to do and be happy about it and love it, and you can get through it. And we want to help you get through it. And then also one of our major sponsors is Tap Out. So we provide physical training, self-defense training for 30 days free. Like we'll sponsor a child for 30 days. They get workout clothes. We train them at least how to just get somebody off you if they grab you, or how to get away. So that's something that I'm really excited about. So that's like the 4 components of Team Bully Buster.
And you have an event coming up.
Yes. And so we have the event coming up at Yoka here in Los Angeles, where it's a 3-day anti-bullying kind of project. It's an hour each day, and we're going to have celebrities there, fighters there. We're going to put on our show. They're going to sign autographs, take pictures, and just hopefully instill and inspire kids to, number one, stop bullying. If you are a bully sitting in the audience.
Yes,
and
stop bullying.
And then for the kids that are getting bullied, hopefully give them that fire to be like, I want to do this. I want to like be able to defend myself. I want to tell somebody, stop touching me, stop bothering me. And I'm just really excited about it. We did a test run, and the school absolutely loved it. And then this school got word of mouth. And so hopefully the fire just keeps catching on, and we can just, it'll be like Dare on steroids.
And when's the event?
It is the 20th, the 22nd, and the 23rd.
October 20th, 22nd,
and 23rd. Yes.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. You are a phenomenal woman. Thank you. And thank you again for being with us here at Black Hollywood Live on Phenomenal Women. I look forward to seeing you next Friday and inspiring you with another guest.
Be a bully buster.
Be a bully buster. I love it.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.